I went foraging for cherry blossoms and this is what I created. Damn it.
So before we get into it, what is foraging?
Foraging is just finding food in nature, I guess. Edible food and non-edible. Okay. I'd seen a few cherry blossom trees in my neighbourhood throughout the years. Recently I thought, why don't I try and make something with them? Cherry blossom season's generally around spring. Once the cherry blossom tree is flowering, that blossom lasts for 2 weeks. So I felt a real urgency to go out and forage them. The first tree I found, it was near somebody's house. I did have a pair of scissors and I was like cutting a few blossoms off and somebody came to the window and yelled out, "What are you doing?" I just said, "Oh, I'm just getting a few cherry blossoms," and she was like, "Ask me next time." She must upkeep it, I don't know.
Yeah, I remember we went around at night with scissors to the park
And a jar.
Yeah.
a really big jar.
How many jars of flowers did you steal?
I didn't steal them, this is foraging. I think 1 or 2 like large jars. You can do a few different things with them. The first thing I thought to make was pickled cherry blossoms. The recipe was from this website called Gardenista. To make these I just washed all the cherry blossoms. Like, it seemed easier to just soak them in water, so just put a whole heap of water on the cherry blossoms and leave it overnight in the fridge. And then I just drained them. I used a salad spinner just to get as much liquid as I could out. And then I put the cleaned flowers in a jar and covered them with ume vinegar for 3 days. And that just kind of pickles them a little bit. You drain them, then you let them dry for a day, or toss them in a whole heap of salt and make sure there's a kind of layer of salt to keep them submerged. That draws out more moisture, and then you let it dry for a day. So in short, soak them, ume vinegar, drain them, salt them, and then dry them. And then you store them packed in salt. It's just like a salty caper, but I guess with a bit of a floral edge, but capers are little flower buds too. Next I made Sakura vodka. To make it, you steep the cherry blossoms in vodka in a jar. I think I did it for a week or so, and when you're kind of okay with the taste, just strain the flowers out. Tastes like medicine. Not everything's gonna work. This isn't bad though, mixed in with a little bit of sugar or honey or in like a cocktail, I think. This was just a sugar syrup, and I heated the sugar syrup up till it was thick, and then I dropped the cherry blossoms in and let them steep.
What does this taste like?
It's better because there's sweetness. I think you could use this kind of like a honey substitute, or like just put on ice cream, again like in cocktails or mocktails. It is nicer than the vodka. The sweetness helps with the bitter qualities of the natural cherry blossom. This is a cherry blossom starter jar, and a starter jar is usually just to figure out the strength of yeast in like wildflowers and that kind of thing. It's a bit fizzy. This was just apple juice and the cherry blossoms, just cold. You leave the cherry blossoms in the apple juice at room temperature for a few days, 3 days or so. It smells really good. It tastes kind of like kombucha, like apple juice with a little bit of cherry juice. That's it for this Forager's Tale. Subscribe for more of these as well as more zero waste recipes. Thank you, bye!